What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going over all of the dinosaurs that appear in Jurassic Park 3. Number 1, the Velociraptors. So just to get this out of the way, the first Velociraptor we actually see is technically not real, though it is the first dinosaur in the show. It is in a dream sequence that Alan Grant is having while he's on the plane, even though it's kind of weird that he sees this particular form of raptor, because this is the male raptors that are introduced in this movie that weren't technically alive and did not look like the velociraptors that he would have seen. So he should have seen the ones that look like the Jurassic Park velociraptors. So for some reason they just decided to include this, and they didn't, switch the velociraptors back. So next raptor-ish scene is the group comes across a nest site, and Alan immediately recognizes that this is a raptor nest, and then they leave. The next time we see the raptors is in the abandoned genetics lab, where one hides behind one of the tubes the embryos are in before attacking Amanda Kirby. It attacks the group before Billy and Amanda trap it behind a door to a cage where they had used to keep the dinosaurs. This raptor actually then does call for help. The rest of the pack then chases the group into a herd of Parasaurolophus and Corinthosaurus. Alan is separated at this point. The Kirbys and Billy climb trees to get away, but Udesky is actually caught by the raptors, who actually use him to set up a trap for everyone, which almost works, as Amanda almost falls from the tree with the raptors jumping to try and get at her. While that is happening, Alan is actually watching the alpha female and the alpha male from behind a tree and notes that the raptors are basically talking to one another, and he's actually wondering what they are saying. The raptors are eventually called away. However, the male does walk up and snaps Udesky's neck, almost out of spite for the others in the group. However, as they run off, Alan tries to sneak away. As he turns around, there's a raptor there that tries to kill him, but he is actually saved by Eric Kirby, who uses gas to scare away the rest of the raptors, in a scene kind of similar from the Lost World novel. So a little side plot that's going on here is it's actually revealed when the group finally gets back together when they're at the birdcage, that Billy has actually stolen raptor eggs to try and save their dig site, and Alan gets really mad at him about this, and he's about to throw the eggs off of the cliff, but then he decides not to, stating that, what happens if the raptors catch you with the eggs, but worst case scenario is actually what happens if they catch them without the eggs. Which comes back into play, as the last time we see the raptors is at the end of the movie, where they set a trap for the group surrounding him. The female believes Amanda Kirby has the eggs and essentially challenges her for them. Alan gives her the eggs and realizes that Billy had the vocal center of the raptors that he had 3D printed at the beginning of the film. He takes it out and blows into it, agitating the raptors. Paul Kirby then tells him to call for help, and Alan imitates the call and the raptors start to go, but the alpha female actually stops them, picking up the eggs and running away before the alpha male goes and picks up the other egg, and then they're basically followed by the rest of the pack whenever the helicopters show up to rescue them. So this next scene is kind of in the introduction to the island, when they're all flying over this big field and meadow which has a bunch of species of dinosaur in it. So I'm going to kind of try and go over these as we get to them in the scene, and we'll just kind of go from there. I'm going to do my best. I might get them a little backwards, but we'll see how I do. The next dinosaur we see is Triceratops. We originally only see one Triceratops through the window of the plane the group flies to the island in. However, as the field opens up, we see an entire herd being scared by the plane running off, surrounded by all the rest of the herding dinosaurs. The third dinosaur we see is the Parasaurolophus. Like with the Triceratops, a single Parasaurolophus is seen grazing next to a Triceratops from the plane. However, we see an entire herd of them running from the plane with the Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Corinthosaurus while the plane flies over the top. We next see the Parasaurolophus when the raptors chase the group into a herd of them. The herd is startled and basically runs off, and they're herding with the Corinthosaurus. After that, we see a few of them grazing by the river with the Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, and the Ankylosaurus. After that, the next dinosaur we see in this big old herd is the Stegosaurus. We see a herd of Stegosaurus running from the plane with the other dinosaurs. After that, we see the Stegosaurus is when a herd of them is grazing by the river alongside the Brachiosaurus and other dinosaurs. The next dinosaur we're introduced to is the Corinthosaurus. We first see the Corinthosaurus running from the plane with the rest of the herd, like the last few dinosaurs we've spoken of. The next time we see them is when they're startled by the humans and the raptors running through the herd as they were grazing alongside the Parasaurolophus, where they basically stampede away. The next dinosaur we see is the Brachiosaurus. We first see the herd with the previous dinosaurs running from the group's plane. After that, we see the Brachiosaurus herd in one of the best scenes of the movie, in my personal opinion, possibly one of the best scenes of the franchise, we see them walking up to the boat while they're grazing next to a river, and it gives us these great scenes like this one here. After this, though, guys, we see the Spinosaurus. Replacing the T-Rex as the big dinosaur protagonist, we first catch a glimpse of the Spinosaurus as it kills one of the mercenaries and causes the plane to crash. After the plane crashes, the Spinosaurus goes on to attack it, killing the other mercenary, pulling the plane out of the tree, and essentially rolling it around on the ground and crushing it. Then after this, the Spinosaurus shows up while the group is running from a juvenile T-Rex. The two dinosaurs start to fight over the territory in the first ever giant dino fight we actually get in the Jurassic franchise. During the fight, the two dinosaurs step on the roof of a trapped Alan Grant, who fell into a log, but he is fine, with the fight ending in victory for the Spinosaurus. After this, the Spinosaurus shows up when Alan and Eric reunite with the group. They found the group by following a ringing from Paul Kirby's satellite phone. As it turns out, the satellite phone was on the mercenary that the Spinosaurus ate. When the group turns around, the Spinosaurus is just standing there, possibly resting its full stomach since it was eating the dead T-Rex. But it does attack the group, chasing Alan and Eric until they go through the fence. This only slows the Spino down for a second, however, as it breaks through the fence and continues to chase the group until they get into the birdcage building. It hits the door to try and get in, but ends up giving up and walking away. The final time we see the Spinosaurus is when it's swimming in the river. First, we just see its sails, but soon it comes above water and attacks the boat. The group takes refuge in a cage on the boat, but the Spino knocks it into the water and keeps trying to eat them by sticking its face in it. The group does manage to get away, with Paul distracting it on a crane, as well as Alan Grant shooting it with a flare gun and burning it severely. It does survive this, however, and runs off into the woods. After the Spinosaurus, we actually see a juvenile T-Rex, and their group runs into this T-Rex. Basically, once they've escaped from the Spinosaurus, they're about to kind of walk, and they turn around and they find a carcass. Alan says it's okay, it's dead, and then the T-Rex just lifts its head over the carcass. Alan says no one move a muscle, but then the T-Rex roars and they all run away. The T-Rex then for some reason pursues them and runs into the Spinosaurus, where it basically challenges the Spinosaurus for the territory, and the two dinosaurs do end up fighting, which unfortunately, like I said previously, does not end well for the T-Rex as the Spinosaurus snaps its neck. After the Spinosaurus, the next dinosaur we see is the Ankylosaurus. A group of Ankylosaurs is seen grazing under the trees where the group are hiding from the raptors. And the next time we see the Ankylosaurus is by the river, where they're drinking from the river next to the Brachiosaurus. After that, the next dinosaur we actually see is the Compsognathus. We see a pack of compies hunting bugs while Alan and Eric are hiding out in the water truck that Eric had been living in. Eric actually hears them coming, so it kind of tells you that he's probably had a little bit of run-ins with compies previously. The next dinosaur we see is actually the Pteranodon. So a flock of Pteranodon attack the group in a bird cage while they are trying to get to the boat by the river, with one appearing out of the fog and taking Eric Kirby back to the nest where the babies try to eat him. Billy then tries to get to him by parasailing, but the other Pteranodons keep attacking him. He does manage to rescue Eric, however, before dropping him into the river to get to the group, although he ended up crashing. The other Pteranodon are attacking the group, but they fall into the river, killing one of the Pteranodons, and the group escape. The Pteranodons do, however, keep chasing Billy and eventually catch up to him, seriously injuring him. The group does manage to escape, but they don't close the door to the cage all the way, so the Pteranodons actually manage to escape. The Pteranodons are actually the last dinosaurs we see in the movie, with the group seeing them out of the window of the helicopter. We then see them flying away over the ocean, looking for new nesting grounds, kind of reflecting the pelican scene we saw from the first Jurassic Park movie. And then the final dinosaur species we actually see is a lone Ceratosaurus. The Ceratosaurus walks up on the group after they had dug through the Spinosaurus's poop looking for the satellite phone. It walks up to the group and smells them, kind of shakes its head, and then just walks away because they smelled so bad or smelled like the Spinosaurus. That's pretty much it, guys. 12 different dinosaur species up here in Jurassic Park 3. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and while you're down there, guys, please drop some comments down below. What's your favorite dinosaur from this movie? Are you guys upset or mad that think they should have left the T-Rex as the big bad? Are you upset they introduced the Spinosaurus here? Please let me know, and while you're down there, guys, please also follow me on all my social medias, which will be coming up next, and I will see you guys in the next video.